Hey everyone, welcome to another Transformers review. This is the War for Cybertron Siege Leader Class Astrotrain WFC-S51. Yes, and there he is, of course, in his train mode, which we'll put off to the side for now, because we're going to look at this big old box, which might be bigger than probably should be, but hey. Yeah, of course, you got Astrotrain there, that is ranking back there. You got a really nice picture of him being really angry on the side here. Look at that. You got a Decepticon logo on the top. You got the warnings on the bottom. You got the typical Siege artwork on the side here. And on the back, you got several renders of his three modes and warnings and copyrights and whatnot at the bottom. So there you go. The box. And of course, he's got his instructions, which are actually quite large. Yeah, there's a lot of instructions here because he is a triple changer like he is supposed to be. Yep. He's a train. This is train mode, of course. You can see that he can roll really well. These are actually all spinning wheels right here. All those. And there's wheels on this thing too. Yes, this box right here. This box is pretty much the reason why it's a Leader class toy, not a Voyager. Yeah, you can see that. Nice, very, very nice purple train. Some detailing, like lots of molded detail in there. See what is that going to be? You can see, yeah, a lot of molded detail in this nice, like silver, like piping along the sides and whatnot. And there's a little window back there and whatnot. And hey, look up at the front here. You got the Decepticon symbol and you got all that stuff and a little silver light. Yeah, there's a lot here. And on the top back here, even there's this purple and gray. And there's little tiny treads, I guess, for some reason, even though it's a train. Hey, that's the thing. Yeah, again, it rolls really well, and that's your thing. Of course, remove this. It just pegs in the back right here if you just want this part, which is more back into the classic look here. And yeah, in this box actually contains all his weapons. You can see that you open this up like so. Yeah, you can see it's got all 5 of his guns stored away, which also some of which you can peg onto here, like so. If you want, you can peg some of the guns on there if you want. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of ports, but they exist. There's that port right there as well. Yeah, I believe this is kind of a port. Oop, maybe not. No, that's a little too small. So there's a port. Yeah, that's about it for the train. And it's actually fairly clean, although you can see the robot head right there. So, yeah, this is where the guns can store, all 5 of them. You can see that. I'm going to pull them out right now. So, yeah, all the guns can store in this box right here. Which also, hey, look, this box also folds out to be something interesting. How about that? I'll get back to that in a little bit. Yeah, all the guns. There's, again, 5 of them. Which, I'll get back to that stuff in robot mode with the guns more a little bit. But yeah, it's actually a pretty cool looking train, although it's weirdly wide, comparatively to this engine bit. But hey, I ain't complaining. I think it looks really good and actually folds away. Everything folds away pretty nicely. But, of course, he also transforms into a space shuttle, what you want to do is untab these pits right here. Get them out to the side. This lets you move these pits back right here. Rotate them all the way around. And then the bottom here, you want to unfold these little wingtips and unfold the wings entirely. Like so. And then you want to split this bit right here. You want to split the front half and get these panels out like this. This gives you enough clearance for this stuff. You want to fold the little chimney stack right here. You want to fold that in like that. Fold that in and then collapse this up all the way. Collapse this piece up. You see that collapses up all the way. And then you want to rotate this bit around like this. It only goes one way, so just be aware of that. Just rotate that around. There you go. Then you want to take up here, before you collapse that all up, you want to take this up here and undo that. There's a little tab right there, undoes that, and then you can move this up and around, back like this. And this right here, you'll have to untab this back piece so you can get this. You want to get this wedged between these two pieces right here, and then re-tab everything back in when you do so. If you don't remove this, you can't wedge it in because everything's nice and tight back there. You have to pull this off to get that wedged in. And if you don't wedge it in, it looks weird. So there you go. You got all that done. Then you want to move these back like so. Yeah, you want to move that back. And the legs are going to have to tilt just a little bit like that. Otherwise, it doesn't fit properly. And you bring this back over, and there's this big old tab thing will go over into a big old slot on the inside of this as you bring it all together. And then these right here will tab together as well. They should. Not sure what's not tabbing together. There we go. Tab together, all this stuff tabs, like this. And then you bring these things down like this, and they peg in like so. And you've got your shuttle mode. This does not have any real landing gear. I guess these wheels, but yeah, there's no real landing gear on the bottom. Just kind of set it down. It's actually pretty close to his original, kind of, in a sense. Like, you got this big old box up here, which is absurd. Again, kind of this weirdly absurd box at the front. You kind of just, there's a lot of stuff back here, which is kind of, you can see. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of folded up stuff back here. So it's kind of like, I think for a lot of people that might disappoint them a little bit. That this is, you can see some clear, folded up robot stuff back here. But I don't mind it too much. It is pretty close to the original. It is kind of close to the original, so it's like, I don't mind it. It gets a pass, although it's more gray, if anything. And you got the, silver picked out rocket boosters and all that stuff. I don't mind it. And you got, of course, this yellow and red bit right there. And Decepticon logos right there on the wings with some purple striping as well. I think it looks good like this. And you got silver as well on there and the purple nose. And I think it looks good. It's very G1-esque. Yeah, it's not really an accurate space shuttle, but it's trying to be Astrotrain, not an accurate space shuttle. In this mode, you got a lot more ports, though, for, like, say, weapons. So you can put them like here, and here. You can mount them on the wings as well. Yeah, and then you got this thing, which, all right, you want to put it on the, like on one of the sides here, like this. So you can have a heavily armed space shuttle, which is crazy if you want to do that. You can also just not do that as well. Your choice. But yeah, there's also this bus box. There's two things you can do here. You can either fold this down like this, and yeah, then you have a little, and these you want to peg into like that. You can peg it in like that, and then hey, look, you got a little launch platform, which that's pretty neat. Although this, I noticed on mine, and I'm not sure how common this is, but I noticed these don't like to lay down flat, if you notice. Yeah, if you notice, because there's also molded shredding here for, like, I guess it's supposed to be a mobile platform. Yeah, these don't lie down as flat as I'd like them to, which is a shame. And of course, there's the other thing you can do here, which is instead you take this and rotate it around like so, fold it underneath, and then take these pieces and move it like that. And now you can just do that, I guess. But no, that's not. So I mean, you don't do that part. This part you do not fold down, and you just keep it around like this. There we go. I jumped a gun on that. Don't ignore that whole thing or so folding that around. Ignore that. That never happened. I jumped a gun. Yeah, you guys, you got a little mobile carrier for the shuttle, which is fine. Doesn't really peg in, at least as far as I can tell. It doesn't peg in. There's no, unless, does that? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, unless, I don't see anywhere for it to peg in. It just sits on there. So there's that. So I'll go ahead and put that off to the side again, because I'm going to go ahead and put it into robot mode. Yep, and to do so, you want to go ahead and once again split this stuff. It can be sometimes a pain in the butt, particularly when you're coming back from robot, and split all this I'm going to take these and adjust them a little bit. See, they're straight for shuttle mode, but you want to actually angle them forward a little bit, and there's a second peg hole so that they sit like that. So yeah, do the same on this side and angle it forward a little bit so it sits a little bit of a jaunty angle. Then you take the feet back here and unpeg them and bring them around like so, and you want to bring this down and collapse it in like that. That's the leg, and then collapse it all the way up so it clicks into place. Collapse this up and they'll click into place, and unpeg this part and collapse that up, and there you go. You got the legs ready to go, and then take these hip skirts and untab them and bring them down like that. Like that, like that, like that. And raise this up a bit because, yep. Want to do that stuff. And of course, up here, you want to split this part right back here, and you want to fold this back and angle it down like this. There's these hooked tabs right here. You want to bring it down like this, and then just like that. That will latch into place a bit. And you can untab this stuff from the wings and then bring the wings down, and it'll collapse into the back like so. But hey, look, it's starting to take shape. Then you want to take this, fold that up, and then fold this all up like this, all down, and then take these panels and tab them to the side, like that. That secures the chest into place. Take the arms and move them down, and then tab them inside like this. There's a good chance in the box these will not be tabbed in, so just an FYI, you want to tab them in. Sometimes they can be stubborn about tabbing in. I'm really stubborn. Like that. So yeah, you might do is just squeeze them like that. That's really solid though once they're in. Look, now I can bring the camera. Oop. I can bring the camera back down because he's notice to be shorter, which yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. And you can untab the arms from here like that. Uncurl the fist and rotate it around like that. Same on this side. Untab, uncurl, and then rotate around. And there you go. You've got Astrotrain's robot mode. Which, yeah, it looks great. It looks like a very hyper detailed version of the old cartoon, the G1 cartoon. I think it looks great. And a lot of people think it looks great. The problem is, of course, much like Shockwave, he's leader class, even though he's, well, not leader class size. In fact, here he is, next to a Voyager. He's shorter than Optimus as a Voyager. Like, he's slightly taller than Spinister, which, yeah, he's a bit taller than Spinister, but he's shorter than Optimus, so he's kind of in a, yeah, he's kind of disappoints a lot of people because of his size. And he's $50. If it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, I wish they didn't include this stupid little box and stuff. That way you could just be, you know, $30 Voyager and I'd happily buy it, but no. But honestly, they need something in the leader class. I get it. And it's like this actually, you know, this whole box it's kind of neat for the train and just kind of a little extra for the play pattern. But yeah, it's like one of those things, the box and the weapons, which, yeah, there's that whole thing. Which I'll get into this right now. Thing is, this box does have a use in the robot mode as well. If you want, well, you can. This is where you rotate this around and collapse this up like that. Take this gray piece right here and slide it off, and then split into two. Then this all can fold up. This tabs in the side right here. This tabs in the side right here, like that. And this can actually peg in to the back here in the thruster or the boosters or thrusters, whatever, like that. Oh no, he's a little unstable. That's what these are for. These can peg in the bottom of his feet, which then makes his feet bigger so that he's a little more stable. And now he's all fully using his stuff, which it looks a little silly because now his feet are huge and he's got this big old box. So now he looks like he's hauling stuff to, you know, like in Death Stranding or something. I just accidentally knocked the gun off. Yeah, so now he's looking at, yeah. If you really want, you can actually, well, store all the weapons back here, you know, so you can, if you don't want them holding them, you can just have them, you know, pegged in here. I'm not going to put them all in because that would take a lot of time. But yeah, you can just put them back here as storage if you don't want them holding them for whatever reason. That's kind of neat, I guess. You know, just you can know, or it's just like, you know, you can have it so it's like other Decepticons can come and, you know, he's holding the weapons and other Decepticons can come and grab the weapons from him or whatever. If you want, that's a thing. It does make him a little back heavy, but you can compensate between the larger feet and just kind of leaning him forward a bit. He's not too bad. It's also pretty easy to accidentally knock him back, you know, make him lean backwards. But because of these feet, he will just kind of lean back rather than actually falling over. Because again, this right here in particular makes him a little more stable. But I think he looks better without that stuff. But it's there as an option if you want. And it doesn't hinder articulation either any more than anything else does. I'm just going to go ahead and put this off the side. It's kind of neat that it exists, but I don't mind it personally, and I think it's actually kind of a neat idea, but I can understand why people don't like it. I can genuinely understand why people are upset that this is the way it is. You know? And of course, you can also keep it like this, you know, sort of, you know, if you really want, if you're feeling a little daring, you can go ahead and store it like this as well. But again, just remember, you're going to have to lean him forward a bit because, yeah, he's now really back heavy. Yeah. Of course, his guns, one of the configurations to show is, well, how to have all his guns attached. You can, of course, have him hold two of them. Oops, if the hand doesn't collapse trying to peg it in. You can hold two of them. You can of course, peg these into the sides. That's why these ones have side pegs, so you can put them in the sides of his arms. And then this one right here, you can attach this arm like that, and there you go. He's fully armed up. That's a thing. And there's the other thing, which is in the instructions as well, which is, get this off. You actually combine the guns. See these guns combine together like this. And these guns can peg into the sides like so. Like so. And of course, this pegs into the bottom right here. Oop. I don't drop it in process like so. And he's got this really huge gun which you can barely hold because, yeah, weight distribution. It doesn't take a whole lot to get him to droop, but he can hold it. That's kind of neat. There you go. He got a really big gun. Now articulation. He's got a ball jointed head, so let's say you swivel left and right, look up and down, but because of the shape of his head, can't really waggle. But there you go. You got that. His arms are pretty posable, except they will bang in the wings, although you can get the wings a little out of the way if you want. There's not a whole lot of options there. He does have outward about that far, and if you want to transform it, you can get, well, kind of broken outward, but yeah, you can do that. Bicep swivel right there, you know, fully articulated. Double jointed elbows, so quite the curl, although then you see the hollow void under his arm. No wrists, unfortunately. Waist swivel, though. That's nice. Got a pretty unhindered waist swivel. He's also got a Tamashii stage port right there, which I forgot to mention on the Spinister review. Darn it. Hips can go forward, and there's the hip skirts, of course. They go back about that far because there's, yeah, plate there and everything. So they go about that far back before you're hindered. Outward. Full splits. There is a thigh swivel, although mine is very tight. There's the thigh swivel, though. Knees go about 90, just shy of 90 degrees, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the way it transforms, it's not quite 90-degree bend. And, of course, ankle tilts, which are unhindered by the foot extensions. But, yeah, they go about that far. And if you really want, you can transform it a bit, and you can do that, but it looks a little silly. You can do it, though. So, yeah, he's got pretty decent articulation. Not amazing articulation, but pretty darn decent in his own right. And he looks good, I think, as well. I think he looks pretty good. Now, should you get him? That's the big question, isn't it? He is $50. He is Voyager size, but he's $50. But he does come with the weapon and the weapon pack and whatnot. And it's like Shockwave all over again, which is he comes with a bunch of accessories to drive the price, or even a lot of the masterpieces. He comes with a bunch of accessories that drive the price up, and a lot of people, not surprisingly, are uncomfortable paying $50 for a figure this size. The question is, well, how much do you like Astrotrain in this stuff? This is one of those things of this is definitely a good toy, and if it was just this figure without the weapon packs and stuff, I would absolutely say yes, go get it. It is worth it. But because it's a $50 leader class because of the accessories, it kind of becomes it depends on how much you want, like Astrotrain and whatnot. I think he is better overall than the Titan's Return, which is better overall than the classics. He's probably the best Astrotrain we've gotten to date in a official capacity. I'm not going to even talk about third-party stuff because I don't have any of those. And my Titan's Return one is somewhere. I think I might have put it in a box somewhere. But I think in an official capacity, this is probably the single best Astrotrain we've ever gotten. He looks amazing. He is very close to cartoon accurate. Both his modes, I personally think both his modes are actually pretty good. I know some people are not super hot on the shuttle mode, but that's the kind of your mileage thing. I personally think it's fine, but others may not agree, but whatever. I think all three of those modes look great. But yeah, he's $50. And the thing is, Shockwave has gone down in price a lot. It's easy now possible to get him for Voyager price at about $30 and sometimes even cheaper. So as we're trying to find that these leader class figures for Siege aren't retaining their value. They go down in price pretty quick. So if you really just want to have Astrotrain and you really like Astrotrain and you like the accessories and you think the accessories at a good value, yes, absolutely. Go for him at leader class price point. The accessories, if you like the accessories, he's worth it. If you don't really care about the accessories or whatever, you just don't care about them, yeah, I should probably hold off and hope that he goes cheaper, in the future. He might not, I don't know. We're in late Siege. He might not get enough distribution to go cheaper later on. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, it just comes down to whether or not you think that weapon pack is worth it and how much you love Astrotrain, I guess, because I think it was worth it personally. The weapon track's kind of interesting. It makes the train look really cool, I think. And it's kind of adds that a little bit with it's a launch platform for the space shuttle. So if you want to display in shuttle mode, you have that going on. So that's enough of my rambling on the price. I hope you figure it out for yourself, because one way or the other, it is good and worth getting. It's just whether or not it's worth getting at full price. So that's it. I hope you found this informative or entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell and all that stuff. I hope you, check out my Patreon and coffee and all that stuff. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. I tweet about Transformers and other random stuff as time goes on. Things happen. And I hope you stick around on this channel. I'm going to keep reviewing for as long as I can. And probably won't be another review probably till after Christmas for sure. Unless things change, so it's probably going to be another masterpiece, and probably you can guess which one. So, Until then, hope you have fun with your toys and all that stuff. So, I'll see you next time.